Chiatura is a small town in western Georgia, nestled in the mountains of the Imereti Mountains, and known for its unusual topography and history, deeply linked to manganese mining and iconic cable cars. The discovery of manganese and the rise of Chiatura. The history of Chiatura begins in the 19th century, when a Georgian geologist and public figure named Akaki Tsereteli discovered extensive manganese deposits in the region in 1879. Manganese is a metal essential to steel production, and news of this discovery spread quickly. Shortly thereafter, mining of the valuable raw material began on the steep slopes surrounding Chiatura, and the city quickly became the center of Georgia's manganese industry and one of the world's leading producers. At the beginning of the 20th century, Chiatura produced almost 60% of the manganese used worldwide. However, with the rise of industry and the need to transport valuable ores quickly and efficiently, a major problem arose: topography. Chiatura lies deep in a gorge, surrounded by steep cliffs and mountain slopes. Traditional transport routes proved to be too slow and laborious for the challenges of mining. The cable cars, a symbol of the city. To solve this problem, the city began an ambitious project starting in the 1950s, the construction of a complex network of cable cars, also known as aerial cable cars. These cable cars were designed to quickly and efficiently get workers to the hard-to-reach mines and transport the load of ore to the factories and processing plants. They soon became the heart of Chiatura's urban transport, connecting various points on both sides of the city and along the cliffs. These cable cars, which are still in use today despite appearing outdated and rusty, are a unique landmark of Chiatura and a symbol of the innovation and resilience of its residents. Some of the cable cars' cabins and mechanisms date back to the Soviet era, offering a rare insight into the engineering of the era, the hardship of life, and the struggle of the workers. Chiatura's industrial expansion brought prosperity, but also great hardship. Work in the manganese mines was dangerous and strenuous. Conditions were often harsh, working hours were long, and pay was poor. Chiatura quickly became a focal point of the labor movement in Georgia. Even before the Russian Revolution of 1917, workers in Chiatura were fighting for better working conditions, and the city became the scene of significant strikes and protests. One of the most famous leaders of this movement was a young revolutionary named Joseph Stalin, who was active in Chiatura in the early 1900s. He supported the workers' strikes and used the city as a base for his revolutionary activities. Many of the miners in Chiatura joined the Bolshevik movement and played a role in the Georgian resistance to Tsarist rule. The Soviet era: growth and decline. During the Soviet era, Chiatura experienced a period of growth. The government of the Soviet Union invested in infrastructure and promoted manganese production, which was crucial to Soviet heavy industry. The city became an important strategic location and enjoyed a certain priority in supply and development. But with the collapse of the Soviet Union in the 1990s and the resulting economic collapse, everything changed. Government subsidies and investments ended abruptly, and the city was plunged into a deep crisis. Many mines were closed, and those that remained were a shadow of their former capacity. Unemployment rose, and many residents left the city in search of better opportunities elsewhere. Chiatura today, a relic of the past and a look into the future. Today, Chiatura is a city that at first glance seems trapped in time. The cable cars continue to creak up and down the steep slopes, and many of the buildings and streets still have a Soviet-era feel. But Chiatura is more than just a relic of the past. It is a place that embodies the history and spirit of Georgia's labor movement and the resilience of its residents. In recent years, the government has made some efforts to revitalize the city. There were plans to modernize the cable cars and improve the infrastructure to make Chiatura more attractive for tourism. The city today attracts visitors attracted by its unique atmosphere and history. Conclusion: a city full of contrasts. Chiatura is a fascinating example of a city that has maintained its own unique identity, despite all the challenges it has experienced over the years. It is a place of contrasts, between old Soviet architecture and nature, between the harshness of mining and the beauty of the Georgian landscape. Chiatura stands today as a symbol of the past, but also of hope for a future in which the city can reinvent itself. The story of Chiatura is one of hardship and innovation, of struggle and hope, and it is far from being told to the end.